Welcome back, viewers. Uh, this session is intended for the supervisors, the branch managers, the operations managers, or any stakeholders or concerned people who are responsible for monitoring the queue management system at the branches, and not only monitor the queue management system but also look at the different services that are being given, monitor, compare, and monitor and compare the performances of the customer service staff, the agent staff, or the counter staff, I should say, who are responsible for managing tokens at the branches. Um, you can see the login screen. I'm sure all of you have your credentials already. I repeat myself that the credentials which are being used for the old system will be used in the new application as well. Just in case you don't have the login detail, you can get in touch with the help desk and they will be creating the necessary login details for you. Without any further delays, just let's get into the application. I've keyed in my username and passwords, supervisor, and the password. We will address the dashboard provided by the new application, by the new version in this video. If you quickly look at the very first glance, you would understand that the new dashboard is much different to the current dashboard that is being offered in the new version. It is much more advanced, much more detailed in comparison to the current current version that we have. On the very top, it is showing me, you will be able to see my mouse cursor in yellow. At the very top, it is showing us different information, quick information of what is happening at the branch. Total visitors served for the branch this count is basically just for the branch which you are logged in. It shows us the total number of visitors which are there, 26,390. It shows us the average wait time. It shows us the average service time. And next to that, it is giving us the customer feedback that we have received for this branch. And then we have the overall NPS. Before I get into details, definitely a question is arising in your mind that these figures are for what period. So if I click on the setting tab that is on the left side, I can see this period is from 1st of Jan 2019 to the current date. So by default, when you log into the system, it basically shows you the period from the beginning of the year until today. Okay. If we want to do any changes, we can change this period as well and choose the desired period. You can go to a previous year or you can go to any date range. Let's say you just want it for the previous month, so I can choose, let's say, November 1st to let's say November 30th, and if I apply the setting, this will show me the details of the last month. Okay. So we are clear that when we log into the system, by default, the dashboard that we will see will be from the beginning of the current year until the current date. I come back to the information on the top. So we have total visitors that is served from the beginning of the year until today. We have the overall average wait time for over our organization, and we have overall average service time. The information next to that is it shows us the feedback that we have received for our services. Okay, before I get into feedback, I would like to explain that the new version is introducing a new concept called NPS. NPS is an international standard for managing or capturing and managing, comparing, monitoring, and analyzing the customer feedback that you have received, that you are receiving. NPS stands for Net Promoter Scores. In this standard, the customers who are happy, who are giving you happy submissions, are called promoters. Customers can give you neutral feedback, or they can give you unhappy feedback. People who are happy are called promoters, then we have neutral people, and then people who are unhappy are called detractors. Promoters are people who are happy and who are most likely to spread positive words and give positive reviews for your service. Neutral people are people who are neither happy nor sad, and then we have unhappy customers who are detractors. Detractor customers are highly. There's a high possibility, high probability that they would not be speaking positive about the services that you have provided. The fourth information that you can see on the screen in this tab on the drop down menu is a cross sign that basically captures captures the number of customers who have not really given submission, given their feedback. In the new NPS survey system that is being introduced, we are collecting feedback and it is being stored against each ticket, each counter, each agent, and each service. So it becomes very easier for us to identify which were the tickets or customers who have not really given a feedback. We can clearly capture, we can clearly understand that. So looking at this, you can also, once I go down to the dashboard, you will also be able to see what percentage of our customers have not really given a feedback, what percentage have not given any submission. So looking at these figures, we can also encourage the culture or encourage our agents and set up a culture to ensure that we have the highest submission of feedbacks from the customers. If the figure of not receiving feedbacks is high, then that means definitely there is an issue and there's some kind of changes that are required in the organization, and we need to encourage customers to give a feedback. There's a high possibility if a customer is unhappy, they won't give a feedback. So because of that reason, we are also capturing the figures of the people who are exact count of the people who are not giving any feedback. Next to that, it gives you the overall NPS figure, that's 33.33. It's great. There are different ranges. That ranges can be shared by business team with you. Those ranges basically show you that it's basically from a scale of -100 to +100. So it's basically poor, improvement required, it's good, very good, great, and excellent. So that's how the figure is. Now coming down to the very first box that you can see, it's service analytics. As the name suggests, basically it is quickly giving me a 360 view of what is happening, 360 view of the services that we have offered. Looking at this pie chart, immediately I immediately understand that our most used services in the branch, or for the period that we have selected in the dashboard, is teller services. Teller services were the most used services. Okay, it's showing us 63.85%, and the figure is 16,851 tickets were served for teller services. The next most used services is other services, that's 31.46%, and then we have open an account service, that's 4.27%. I can click and I can get to see these details again. The highest used service is teller services, that's 16,900. Other services, and open an account. It's the same figures. Okay. Then the very next, it is showing us the waiting tickets. If you can, as a manager, you can see what are the waiting tickets at this given point of time. If you have chosen a date range that includes today, it will show you the waiting tickets for today as well. If you have chosen a date range which does not include today's ticket, of course the waiting tickets will be 0, because this waiting tickets actually show the real time tokens which are waiting in the branch at that given point of time. Okay, then it shows what's the lowest wait time for that particular period, what is the highest wait time that was there for any ticket, and what was the average wait time for that particular period. The same figures are here: the most used service, the least used service, the highest wait time, and the lowest wait time. It is also showing you the ticket numbers. Then we have an area where we are concentrating on the violations. There's waiting time violation and there is average waiting time violation. If any specific ticket is violating the wait time, any specific ticket is violating the wait time set, say benchmark wait time set by the management, it will generate a violation. It will generate a violation on the dashboard, and it will also generate a violation to you. It will send a notification to you, violation notification to you by an email. Let's say, for example, teller services are there. Teller services, the benchmark time you have set is 10 minutes. If any token will go beyond 10 minutes, it will immediately show a count increase here. You can click and you can get to see the details, and it will also send you a real-time notification by email saying that so and so ticket has violated the wait time. Same thing goes for average wait time. If a service exceeds the average wait time, the overall average wait time for that service has exceeded the benchmark time, it will generate a notification. It will generate a violation notification on the dashboard, and it will generate a violation notification on the email. The next bar we have is to tell us what percentage of our tokens that we have served have exceeded the wait time. Now it shows me 25.77%. That's 6,832 22 tokens have exceeded the wait time, which is a very big figure. Looking at this quickly, I understand what is it. So we need to ensure that these figures are low. You can set KPIs internally to ensure, let's say, only 5% to 10% or any XYZ figure as per your organization norms, organization traffic and the services that you are given. These figures can be decided. I can click and I can get to see the details. Teller services 4,935, other services 1,825, open an account 34. I can click the details and I can get to see the details as well. And it basically pinpoints each and every date, branch, ticket number and status, service, everything. It basically indicates and shows us that which were the tickets which had exceeded. We can see all the red arrows, which basically indicates that these tickets have violated the benchmark time. So this was about the service analytics box given on the dashboard. We'll conclude the first part of the dashboard here, and we'll continue it in the upcoming video. Thank you.